but there's other options. Boom. I like that land. Hello, good game. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're all having a magical day. Thank you so much for taking the time to support the channel. You guys loved the last free-to-play deck, so I've upgraded what I consider to be probably one of the strongest free-to-play decks right now. The explosivity of this deck is absolutely insane. Red Eyes, Black Dragon. This is Rakdos Red and Black mid-range deck slash recursion deck. We'll be bringing some creatures back from the grave, which is always a lot of fun. In today's video, we're going to showcase the deck, break down the strategies, the synergies, demonstrate that within the gameplay footage, and then finally wrap up with our closing thoughts. So buckle up, like I said before. Make sure to like the video to show your support. Subscribe to the channel for more cool content. And yeah, let's take a look at the deck. Alrighty then. Again, as all of my free-to-play decks are, this is an artisan build. 0 rares, 0 mythics, just commons and uncommons. So it should be really easy to collect these cards and assemble the deck if you're new to the game. We have the Red Dragon as our pillar here. This is a 4/4 with flying. It has Fire Breath, and when it enters the battlefield, it will deal 4 damage to each opponent, right? We only have one opponent right now, but that 4 damage is going to be incredible. And then mixing it with Carter's Vicious Return for 4 as well as an Enchantment Saga. So when it enters play, we can sacrifice a creature. If we do, we'll deal 3 damage to any target. We can sacrifice the beloved Fireblade Charger. This equals 4 damage. Beautiful. And then, of course, the Dragon will deal an additional 4 plus attack for 5 for a total of 13 damage just in that playline alone. Absolutely incredible. Of course, there's more. We can discard a card, which would be the Dragon primarily. And then finally, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and it gains haste. And that's what allows the Dragon to attack for 5, equaling that 13 damage. Building around that, we have discard in the deck, so Ragged Recluse is actually fairly good. At the beginning of your end step, if you've discarded a card this turn, transform the Recluse, and we have both the Vicious Return to discard, as well as Cathartic Pyre to discard. Discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards, or deal 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker, all at instant speed for 2. Plus, we have the ability to learn. Learn either drawing a card from our sideboard, or discarding from our hand, which can in turn trigger the Recluse's transformation into Odious Witch. A 3/3, and whenever it attacks, defending player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And this is very, very good for what we're trying to accomplish through our quick drain of our opponent's health total, right? So that's kind of what we have going on there. Of course, we do have Kazal's Fury in deck as well, because why not fling the 5/5 Dragon at your opponent for, some extra damage, which is really cool. As an additional cost to cast that spell, sacrifice a creature at instant speed, deal damage equal to that sacrificed creature's power to any target. So, if your opponent has removal, you can just kind of snag that creature away from them and throw it at their face, which is really cool. Most of our creatures are pretty small, except for the Red Dragon as a first and foremost card. We are tossing in on top of the Red Dragon, because 4 creatures aren't quite enough. 6 is nice. We could potentially even move our way up to 8. But the Baleful Beholder for 6, a 6/5, and when it enters play, choose 1. Each opponent sacrifices an enchantment, which is actually better than you think it is. Or creatures you control gain Menace until the end of turn, which is actually very good as well, because, it increases the amount of damage you'll get through your opponent's blockers, because now they have to double block, and every point of damage counts within the deck. We also have the Dread Horde for 6, a 6/6, and whenever it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. Whenever a creature dies or a creature card is put into your graveyard from a library, each opponent loses 1 life, right? So we're milling 3. If those are creature cards, that's going to be 3 damage to our opponent just as it enters, right? And then we're going to attack, because hopefully it will have haste as a 7/7. They're going to need to block. More creatures will die. The Dreadhound will deal more chip damage to our opponent, which is really, really nice. The Foul Stinger can deal 2 damage to any person, whether it's ourselves or them, and then that player gets to draw 2 cards. So it's really nice to get lethal with the Foul Stinger, right? Because the cards they draw don't matter, and there's a lot of damage help here as well. Of course, the Fireblade Charges do that kind of damage as well. The Eye Twitch can discard, like we talked about, or get into our sideboard, which is just, general learn stuff. I mean, grab the Summonings, try to attack. You can also use the Fumes and the Annihilation as removal, and then, just getting a big attack in on a flyer with the Anatomy potentially, right? Ghast, you know, it's going to be -1/-1 to target creature when it dies, or make a treasure, which helps us ramp into our goodies. So a pretty simple deck. Again, all commons and uncommons that perform fairly well together. You could drop one of these and add a second of the other, but I couldn't decide which one I wanted more. Play with them both and decide for yourselves, or just run them both like me. That's going to be fine. Thanks for taking the time to check out the deck tech portion of this video. Of course, now we'll demonstrate all of it in the gameplay footage and then wrap up with not only our final thoughts, but some upgrade ideas to the deck as well. So make sure to like the video, show your support, subscribe to the channel for more great content, and let's get into the gameplay footage. Going first, we can risk the lands. It will come eventually, and we could worst case sciences for it. For one. Recluse in play. Looking for that that red source here, but it doesn't matter. They're looking at it. They're like, I've never seen anyone play this card. Why would you even? Oh, they go for it. They should have taken the Twitch. Right? Why would you not take that Twitch? We can also discard with the learn. Keep in mind. Get flunks. They're really prioritizing those recluses. Even again, looking at them in the grave, they're like, what is this card? I've never seen it, so I just have to get rid of it. Let's hit for 2. Our Stinger! Stinger! And we're actually going to kill the Charger. And I'll draw cards because I have no hand. Sometimes you want to do the damage to them, but other times you just want to keep your flow of gameplay up to par. And if they field wipe us, we don't have anything. We still basically don't have anything, but we'll do our best. Selfless Paladin. Nice. That's alright, eh? So let's swing in with everything, right? 4 damage. Down to 10. I doubt they block it. And then let's sting our Twitch. Right? We could have really done a lot of damage to them, but let's keep our gameplay or our pace up here as much as we can. They'd probably have removal. We have the land. Let's just take that exile. And then we can snag either our Twitch or our Ghast in play. I'm gonna go with the Twitch. And then get the Myers in tapped. And then we have Fury available. We have Fumes available. We could even do the Skullcarn. So if we did 4 extra damage, we'd have another 3. Could have them down to 3, potentially, right? Food for thought. But then again, we wouldn't have all these cards in hand either. So that's not necessarily how that would have went. I don't see them attacking into our Death Touch. I will block because it has Vigilance. Really? So let's just do that, I guess. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Really? It does come back in tapped, though, which is good. What is the venture? We should have looked at that first. Each player loses 2 life. We could have lost life, I don't care. I'm discarding a mountain, though. That's why they were prioritizing our recluses, because they had forced discard in plan for us. Makes sense. They took the damage. All right. This way we get 6 damage in. And then we have lethal next turn, unless they gain an exorbitant amount of life. Right, we have the Emmerstrom lands, and we also have Fury. Just trying to manage the situation accordingly. I mean, they know. They know, because they see the land, so... Let's see how this plays out. They do venture an additional time. So they can't lose 2 life. So they'd have to sacrifice a land. Decline. I'll lose life. And then they venture 1 more time to make a 4/4 with that touch. And it's a 5/5, I guess. Because now they've completed a dungeon. Everything gets buffed. Everything gets buffed. Everything gets buffed. We could have also Kazult Fury. I like the land. I like the land, right? Because it was already in play. Good game. On the draw, we can keep it. Nice turn 1. Turn 2. Yikes. Let's actually go with the Charger. Probably slaying this Hallowed Priest before anything else happens. That's just terrible for us. Hey, just get out of here, man. Get out of here, Hallowed Priest. You're not welcome. Neither are any of your friends. If you play Voice of the Blessed, I'm gonna freak out. They missed a land, but it looks like so have we. Get another Charger in play. We have a Scorpion up next. Sacrifice the Charger, kill the Minister. We cannot kill a Righteous Valkyrie. Let's swing in. 3 damage. They just let it go through. I understand. This can be any target, which is probably better. Let's take the draw. Kill the Minister. Get that land. I don't know how we have both of our 1-0s in hand. Typically we want to be discarding them, but our opponent is not messing around here. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. This is good. Kill the Righteous Valkyrie. That's a combo. Wombo. And I will swing in for 4. Just trying to mitigate them down from 27 always. We're surviving! We're doing it! Oh, are you kidding? They just keep laying in these heaters, man. We're gonna kill that enchantment. Kill the unicorn. Do a nice swing here. Gas done play. A traveling minister, not ideal, but whatever. They're gaining so much life. A little frustrating, a little frustrating. They must have instant speed removal. They've got something. And we can slay the cleric class before they can dump into it. I know, right? Pretty cool. Menace would be great too, but just getting rid of the rebirth of the Righteous Valkyrie is really what we need. We're all in, right? They have to block the 7. Well, they don't have to. They should block the 7/6. I mean, they were doing very well, so I think we're lucky to have even gotten this far. They kind of mistapped the land there. So we get a nice hit into 6. Another land, that's fine. Book of Exalted Deeds, you dog. Nice. And they should be tapping this. Oh, it has to be sorcery speed. Dang. That's not ideal. We just smash in, right? It's as easy as that. Good game. Beautiful. Opponent goes first. I'm just going to toss this hand. I don't like it. This seems to be a lot nicer. I will toss a Ghast. And the Twitch is nice, right? Get that going. As much chip damage as we can get. Mono green's going to be hard to handle. It's a lot of removal. Do we just overload them? Give them a whole bunch of draw and just like super attack? Or do we give ourselves the draw? It's hard. They just have a Blizzard Brawl immediately, right? Let's sack the Ghast. And I'm gonna draw, because we have nothing, and just make the treasure. The return can kill the Liberator. Arlen makes 2 wolves. Yikes.
I fight for everyone who feels
No
they
wolves
wait
on
for the
Arlen.
perfect moment to strike.
Let's swing in. Trading with the Stinger. That's fine.
You won't threaten my home.
Charger in play. Stinger in play. Stack the Charger. So if Arlen is going to make wolves, she'll die. We'll grab the draw.
To save all of us.
Weird matchup here. Looking for a payoff discard. Looking for a payoff discard for sure. There's their 5th land. Arlen will plus, and they will pass.
Patience, my kid.
I like how it shows them double Arlen tokens. Because they technically were stacked. So we still have Death Touch, which makes me say we should still just swing in and kill whatever they play. No, we just kill it. Hey, yo.
Retreat into the night.
Twitch and play. And then Carter's return. We'll sack the tapped Twitch. And we learn. We should probably just take Exile. Or get rid of that land. I'm just going to take the Exile. I feel like it's a safe bet. Right? So we can snag that, right? That's a good card. It gives the other ones haste as well. No blocks. Down to 8. Yikes. Oh, they kill our Stinger. They generate colorless snow mana. Our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can play this turn. Let's discard the Dreadhound. Good game. They see it, and they don't like that. They don't like that, because they see we discard a Dreadhound, and they see that we're exiling their creature, which means they top deck, and that's going to be a good game. On the draw, hand looks nice. Any hand where we have the return out of the gate is like, okay, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. We can double drop next turn with a Charger and an Eye Twitch by playing slow here. Ooh. Play that red creature first. You know the auto-tapper these days. They'll do whatever they can to get you. Worried about exiles here. Shadow's Verdict will cripple us. They're kicking spells. Interesting. Whenever you cast a kick spell, draw a card, then discard a card. Whenever it enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a card with kicker ability from among them, put it into your hand, which they grab into the royal. Cool stuff. Let's kill the Chronicler. And then there's no draw discard for them. We hit for 2. Field Research, draw 2 cards. If it was kicked, draw 3 instead. They did not kick it. Let's hit. Return in play. Stack the Charger. Damage to them. So that's another 4 damage. Down to 12. They may have bricked here, but it happens. Let me win. I just need to top deck a good discard here. I mean, we could discard the Stinger. It's an option. I wouldn't mind playing it for the draw, though. This is forcing them to discard 2, but I don't know if that's a problem for them. They've got a pretty big hand. They want to bounce something, right? And this is non-land, so they might bounce the return. It's not an artifact, though. I guess. Let's attack. See what they do. There's just a block, so we can learn. That's fine. Let's get that charger in play. So we have 3 power, which is nice. And then we're also bringing back this Felstinger, and it can sack for the draw, I believe, just to help us power up a little bit more. We're running low on cards, and if they stabilize, we're in trouble. Yeah. So there's no exploit unless it's on itself, so I'll just take the 4 damage. No damage to the charger here, sadly. And they gain a bunch of life. It's not ideal. But we'll take another 3 damage here. The hook seems like it sucks a lot. And it's an enchantment. I guess a pest summoning. They still can kick this royal. And they just bubble snare it. Okay, that's a little different than I was expecting. Let's toss the land. They toss a Jace. S in play. Down to 9. I don't know. We need a really good top deck here. And we're still only at 5 land. We need that 6th land here as well. They're looking at our graveyard to see what we can bring back. It's not really anything spectacular. We have 3 damage through the Skulnarium. They kick that for the draw, which is decent. Land in play, 3 cards in hand. Let's grab the charger. Represents 4 damage. And then we're hitting for 3 here. Another bounce. It is what it is. Back in play. They're down to 8, 4 cards in hand. Oh my gosh, Meat Hook is a good card. We're close. If we can get that land, it'll certainly help. They have 7 mana, which is a little frightening. No creature land here, though. I guess we attack, pull their mana first. It's 2 damage. They don't want to take it. So yeah, here's a kicked royal. And I'm okay with that. So now the dragon should enter safely, dealing that 4 damage. And now we have the land to finish them off. They kill our creatures, they gain life. Keep that in mind, right? Roost of Drakes, that's totally fine. They're making blockers. And they don't dare kick the dragon, because it re-enters to kill them. Or, bounce it, I should say. Kick through into the royal for the draw. But there's other options. Boom. I like that land. That land's pretty cool. Alright, we're going first, and the hand is not the greatest, but it is there. Right, we've got some stuff. We got some stuff here, man. Let's get that eye twitch out, and then hopefully we can top deck a Recluse. Somehow discard with our hand from the twitch, transform the Recluse, draw our... not the Fury, but the... what's the recursion spelled? The Return. Carter's Vicious Return. Carter and Kazal are guaranteed best friends. Guaranteed best friends, you guys. Let's hit for 1. Okay, is it turns? It's always what I want to see. Charger out. They probably will wipe the field. I guess we might have to play the Fury as a land. Expressive Iteration, right? They're playing perfectly. If we can beat an Is It Turns deck with our free-to-play build, my job's done. Totally accomplished, right? A Rune Crab, they're milling us. And I simply just won't stand for that. Their mill's not dependent upon that crab whatsoever. We'll get that land in play still. We don't want to stop our progression to 6, because we might just have to hit it organically. The mill could be good for us, as long as it's... Oh, not a return! Dang it, man! Dang it, man! That's not what I want. That's good for you. Divide by 0. I guess the learn is important for them. We're going in! Hitting for 2. Do we grab a land? We're in with our dragon. Fortunately, it doesn't have haste unless it's brought back from the grave. They gain life there as well, which is annoying. And then right into an expressive. Playing a red land, a mountain. Milling 3, land, I Twitch dragon. Kinda sucks. And they have something available for 1. Or they're just choosing not to attack. That makes most sense. Peasant in play. Swing for 3, down to 11. Any draw is good at this point. Mill 3. Oh, another return. You dog. How is it the crab always ruins your key cards? Oh, that's why, because it's the Rune Crab. Okay, so this is a big mill. Our mana value is low to the ground too, so it really hurts. Oh, it's only 8 cards. Unless it was kicked and then it's half of our library. And in that case it was. Alright, let's get after it. Shit, just play the land, HGG. Don't get fancy with the treasure. Just play the land. It's only doing 1 damage anyways, and we just lose. No, but they play a land, and then we lose. Nice. Right? They have 3 mana up, and yeah, they take care of us. We had, I believe, lethal next game. 3 damage here, plus 4 on the ground. So really close match. Alrighty, so I know what you guys want. How can I upgrade this deck? How can I make it even better, HGG? Well, I've got a couple additions for you guys. Of course, the sideboard for best of 1 remains the same, and then best of 3 sideboard is, of course, recommendations. Obviously, the land, the pathway, and the dual land, wherever it is. Haunted Ridge at the bottom, there we go. And then, you know, Orcus is absolutely amazing. Flying Trample, it now gains haste, +1/+1, it's 6/4. That ability still triggers, and we'll be able to do that. Actually, no, I think it just triggers at 0, so we can't pay into it. But nonetheless, the Flying and Trample and Haste is going to be very good. The Crimson Bride, this is probably my first choice, obviously, because whenever it attacks, it's going to bring something else back attacking, which is incredible. So your Recursion brings her back, and then she brings other stuff back, which is amazing. Inferno Star, you know, this is going to be a 7/7. You can dump your extra red mana into it, you know. 8, 9, 10 damage for the turn. That's incredible, and you've already done chip damage, right? The Burning Rune Demon can help you search for things. You know, you've got a lot of 1-drop creatures that can be sacrificed at easy for a bunch of damage here, which is really cool. And then Egon. This is pretty sick because it's a 6/6 that we can flank for fairly cheap, right? So that's always really nice. Those are my upgrades for the deck. What do you guys think of the build? What would you like to see included? And how have you been enjoying these free-to-play builds so far? Thanks for your time and attention. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you soon in the next.